I really appreciate you loaning me this. But what I was impressed by was the effort and the torture you're putting yourself through to source original parts. And when we say original, I don't mean kind of, sort of. I mean, you've actually spent a large amount of time getting the exact same parts, not reproductions, but the exact same parts. And from everything I'm hearing, it's paying off because people are saying that that the product is exactly what they expect it to be. You know,
well,
only better in some ways, right?
Exactly. I mean, we do. Most of the parts come from England. The transformers come from Carnhill, which used to be called St. Ives. Something a lot of people overlook is the actual wire, which, again, the original company was Camford in the north of England, which, again, we sourced and we have it shipped over because the looming of the wire has capacitance, as you know, and therefore getting that down was a paramount importance.
You can't do it with a printed circuit board. The modern techniques
No, I mean,
won't work.
you can do it, but it's not the same, and that's where people, a lot of people don't realise in manufacturing, there's plenty of corners you can cut to make a profit, and therefore we don't, I mean, there's a few companies do it. We stand alone because we do hand wire it.
I tried your 1073s out, and I got to tell you, they were everything I expected and more. I have the originals, and I tried to avoid doing an A/B because I felt like I don't really care what the old ones sound like. If the new ones sound great, that's good enough for me. But they sounded so good, I wanted to see and test my ability to remember what the originals sounded like. And I'm telling you, am I wrong? They sound the same, right?
Well, it is the same.
It's
Again,
the same parts.
It's as if we went back in time because the original company Neve, they purchased the transformers, the wire from other people. They didn't build it themselves, so therefore we can buy it from the same people, which is exactly what we do. And because we hand wire it the same way, then yeah, it's going to sound the same. The only benefit of today's components, not talking about the transformers or the switches or the wire, but things like transistors, resistors and caps have a better tolerance nowadays. So when you do select a frequency, then you bang on that frequency. Whereas, a 30-year-old module that has plus and minus 20% tolerance, you may be off slightly, and therefore it's hard to match a pair up. You can buy one from us today.
Well, too, plus a shifting capacitor creates phase problems too.
Also that, but I'm just saying though that the tolerance the parts that we use with a 2% tolerance, you can buy this today, buy another one in 6 months, and it'll be bang on stereo. There's not an issue that we have to test it in a certain way. It's just better.
In the early days of BAE, I had my first product from you guys probably in '89, and it was called Brent Averill Electronics back then. And man, the reputation that your company got very quickly was for meticulous quality. I mean, most people will go out and just use a good quality solder, but you guys were going out and using silver solder, which is actually real silver. What's silver now, Stereo? $825 an ounce now or something? And little things like that. And man, my API modules that I had you guys do are just as sweet and fresh today and useful as they were back then. That same quality that you were known for, combined with Rupert Neve's original designs, with that quality applied, it's just an incredible product. I mean, these things are going to be valuable for 30 years, right?
Absolutely. And just touching on what you said, the genesis of the company, Brent Averill was an actual person, and his genius was racking the vintage gear. Because back then in the 80s, we were sold digital and this and that. But he recognised that the analog stuff still sounded great. So he started the company that way. But when I took over the company, there was a lot of improvements that needed to be done, and a lot more design, of which one of our head designers, don't tell anyone, is Avidas Kavedian, because he doesn't like any press. Okay. But we work hand in hand doing things like this, which is the 1073 mic pre, but it's a portable unit. It's just the mic pre version of it. So yeah, we took Brent's philosophy, we applied it to today, and just check the website for the catalogue.
A minute ago, my friend Jason Joshua walked in. Jason also has a room here, and we were discussing with you that you can get that Neve sound if you're using a 1073 module, but not actually engaging the EQ.
Yeah.
Even if you are engaging the EQ, but you're not really using any EQ, there's no need for you to purchase the entire module, but you can purchase the 1073 MP or this particular unit, and you get the exact same coloration.
Yeah.
Plus, you got a $3,000 mic pre, stereo pair of mic pre's right there, right?
Absolutely. The beauty of coming in today, I can actually show you that we have evolved, and this now is a 2-channel 1073 mic pre. It says MP, that's what it stands for. So yeah, you're getting the same sound, same transformers, same everything that's in the old modules, but it's just a mic pre version. But the beauty of this, it has a balance line input as well, so you can put the final mix through. Not only is it great mic pre, but it's great for a saturation device. If you want to colour that, that sound a little bit more, you can go through it.
For this, there's some kids that are listening to this that might not understand what you get in terms of saturation by putting across the stereo bus. Describe what in descriptive terms. It's hard to describe sound, but what people love about the original Neves was what in electronics we call saturation, and in recording we call saturation. In layman's terms, it just sounded really damn good.
Yeah. Technically, it's harmonic distortion. It's distortion that's pleasing to our ears.
Even order distortion, correct?
Yeah, it's just the actual transformer was actually a mistake. That's something we can go into at a later stage.
Can we go into it now? Let's do it now.
Rupert back in the day, made this transformer, and we didn't have the analyzers that we do nowadays. So of course, much like we do, we hand it engineers like yourself, and we say, "How'd you like that?" So he did this and realised that there was some technical mistake, but again, in audio, there's no rules really, it's what's pleasing to the ears. So he said, "No, give it me back, I'll redesign it." And they went, "Are you crazy? This sounds great." So that's the essence of these mic pre's.
Did they hook it up to like the wrong pole or something?
Well, the windings, there's something within the windings. So I don't know exactly what it was, but
that's pretty interesting.
Essentially that's what it was.
Is that common knowledge, or?
No, but again, a lot of things that's been written about this, someone gets a bit of information and it's just all over the internet. But believe me, we know this circuit. We've been working with this circuit for the best part of 20 years.
Wow.
I'm from England. I know a lot of the history of the original Neve, etc. So going back to the saturation, it's harmonic distortion. So basically, it's all coloration. What people say about the Neve coloration, that's basically what it is. But as you know, again with consoles, it went through certain stages of either a 1272, a 1290, or one of the other amplifiers that shared this output stage, and it gave you a bit more coloration each time. Sometimes, it's a bit too much, but again, it's all about your own, what pleases you. So you can go through it as many times as you want. Go through it once, see what colour it adds, put the mix through again, and so forth. But essentially, that's what you're going to get as a byproduct of a killer mic pre.
Is any component of the descriptive term saturation have to do with like saturation with tape is almost a description of compression, tape compression.
Yeah.
In 1073 electronics, is there any component of that word saturation that would imply somewhat compression?
Absolutely.
Really?
And again, within the design of the amplifier. Whereas one of the mic pre's we build is based on the old API 312. It handles transients very well.
Yeah, they're great on snares. I love them on snares.
Yeah, we use Jensen transformers for that. But these transformers and the way it's integrated into the circuit of the amplifier, it does compress transients. So you're absolutely right on that. And that, in effect, is what the saturation is. So, that's where the colour comes from. Yeah. The other thing with the genesis of the company, we built the 73 because no one else was building it. It was obsolete in 79. So we sourced the parts, we built it before anyone else. From when it was finished in 79, we were the first company to start building it. But I didn't want to just do that. I wanted to expand the circuit, and that's exactly what we did here. I don't know how
hear you.
technical you want to be, but you know, the inductors in here, they had separate taps that were never being used. So again, with the help of Avidus Electronics, we calculated the Qs and, you know, put the frequencies there. I mean, the switches, these are 1x12 switches, and we were only using 6 positions.
And these are identical to Rupert switches, right?
These are Elmer, and again, it's very important to recognize that a switch is just not a switch, is just not a switch. There are switches,
Oh, yeah.
you know, again, Elmer switches are the best. We get these flown in from
It's safe to
Switzerland.
say that any component in which the audio signal passes through can either make or break,
Yeah.
it contribute in a positive way or a negative way. It's
These
very
are
rarely is a
gold-plated.
neutral way.
These are gold-plated for the contact. I mean, it's the best, you know, conductivity. But not only that, how tactile they are as well. I mean,
Yeah, I've been sitting here the whole while you were talking.
Yeah.
And these I love. I mean, they're identical, but I mean, this is my unit, but I just love the way these feel. They actually, they just give you confidence when you turn
absolutely.
them. You know? Show us like you did with me last week in your shop. Show me how like I recognize this circuit. I recognize these. I recognize these. I recognize this. I mean, this is the
Okay.
Carton Hill wire you described. This is the, Camford wire. This is a Carton Hill transformer.
Yeah. Well, this is the mic transformer, this is the line, and this is the output. So essentially, you know, you're going mic in through here, through the amplifier card to the output. That's basically it. If you want to go through the EQ, it's the same thing, but you just use the 283 card, then through this card and the cards below it. But the reason we build it like this is, again, it's faithful to the old design. This is totally cross-compatible with vintage Neve stuff. You can take these cards out, put them in them, or just take the module out and put it in a console. But it's just to show people we use Elmer switches. That's very important. I mean, these I don't want to just say because they're expensive, but they are. That, you know, we fly them in from Switzerland, and it makes a difference with the contact, and not only that, but just the feel of them.
So good. I wish you could feel this.
And this one is from a place, I'm not even sure what I want to tell you, but it's from England. It's a proprietary switch that, again, the original place got it from. So not that many people are going to go out and buy it, because, again, it's a very, very expensive switch.
Very expensive. I'm not going to give away, but most equalizers you buy, this, and this, plus the labor to wire all this, just this costs more money than most equalizers. This is a very expensive.
Well, it's an expensive way to do it. That's why no one does it. You know, no one in the right mind would start a company and make something like this. I mean, there is a couple of companies out there that have done exactly that. They've put it on a circuit board. Now, because of the sound, the design of the amplifier, it does sound okay, but it won't sound like this because, again, the capacitance of the wire. Now,
and the PC boards and the soldering technique.
And it's again, it's the silver solder, but this is really important for people to know when they buy this. Not only is it a killer sound, but it is an investment because, again, it's tangible parts. You can take these cards out and sell it on eBay. Not that you do that, but I'm just saying these switches, everything in here, if it was stripped down, is worth money.
Yeah, I know what you paid for this. I mean,
well, there you go, and that's
incredible.
what I'm saying. It's going to be here. You're going to pass it on to your kids, or you're going to sell it when you retire. But it's not like, you know, some of the gear that will be obsolete in a couple of years. This will be here long after we've gone.
Mark, I hate to put you on the spot, but I got a cheap bunch of bastards watching this show, and they want something free. Let me give that thing away.
The 1073 DMP?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Damn, that was easy.
There you go.
What about this?
No, but just to let people know, I don't know if we touched on this. Again, not only is this the 1073 mic pre that's portable, we built this for Bootsy Collins. We put a Jensen DI transformer in here. So again, you know, if he liked it, I'm sure, not only for a bass player, I must add,
too.
but guitar is great. A lot of people
And synths.
are putting this, you know, through the paces live. So, you know, yeah.
I like DIs for synthesizers too. Stereo pair and you're rocking. Good looking unit.
And this thing's heavy.